Turbo's got a new truck and it's about to make its maiden run. Fully loaded, straight through the centre of Australia. It's a huge test. A massive 4,000 kilometre slog and a punishing off-road challenge.
Sometimes it can be a shit of a road. Just depends weather-wise.
Up north, it's the wet season. The forecast is for rain and plenty of it. Time to load up and find out. First, 18 pallets of cement mix going through to Darwin. But there's a problem. There's more than expected, and Turbo's worried about the extra weight.
But I'm just trying to work it out.
But there's 3 invoices, you add it to it.
All right. So what's the actual weight on these pallets?
1.5 each.
That's 27 tonnes.
Okay, because that puts it overweight.
Turbo's trailer can only carry 23. Running over could mean a big fine.
Can't do it. At 3.5 tonne overweight, I'm not taking that risk. You can only go maximum 24 tonne. The only thing I can think of, we grabbed them last 2 off, and we'll have to put these ones to the other trailer.
Yeah, all right.
Reloading the excess pallets onto another trailer will waste valuable time.
The whole day is just going to be f***ed up. I can tell you that right now.
And news from Alice Springs hasn't improved his mood.
Report last night is that it is flooded up there. All right, let's go.
Next up, 9 pallets of electrical distribution boards. Protecting them from the weather will be a challenge on this trip.
Yeah.
Turbo's not having much luck with his loading today.
And now it's going to come down heavier.
It doesn't bode well for the dirt roads ahead.
All right, let's have a go.
Yep.
After all the delays, Turbo's schedule is blowing out. He rushes back to his loading yard to switch trailers for the extra pallets of cement mix. The second trailer already has a bulldozer on board, with plenty of room for the cement. But swapping trailers could be a problem. The rain has made the ground soft. He hopes wooden planks will stop his 23-tonne trailer from sinking.
Broken the wood. Problem is it can actually sink through the ground because the ground's wet.
But to make his delivery deadlines, he's decided to leave it and push on.
If it was going to sink, it would have sunk a long time ago.
After picking up the extra cement and some fertiliser, it's dog run time. 1 trailer at a time through the suburbs to hook up his road train 100 kilometres out of the city. One trailer down, 1 to go.
I'm heading home.
It's back to the yard to fetch it. But there's trouble overhead.
This isn't just a rain cell, it's actually a storm cell.
Where Turbo's going, a downpour would be a disaster, turning dirt roads into rivers.
This is just giving me a glimpse of what I'm possibly going to be facing over the next few days. 50k an hour, 50, 70k an hour winds. Our rain's actually coming down and just sheets across the road.
And if torrential rains weren't enough,
Oh,
A call from his yard with bad news about his sinking trailer.
One side has actually dropped about half a foot into the ground. They must have had a shitload of rain and water must have sat under there and softened it up even more. I didn't think it would have.
Getting it out will need a bit of grunt.
Dig this out, 4 hours.
It's a tight fit. But Turbo's excavations are centimetre perfect.
Hooked in.
With the trailer finally freed, it's back out of town to hook up his road train. At last, with 2 trailers and 40 tonnes on the back, Turbo's new truck is ready to roll. But he doesn't get very far.
Light's broken a bolt.
A headlight has come loose. Keep going and it could fly clean off. Turbo saves the light, but then
For f***'s sake.
an oil leak from his front wheel. It could mean trouble. Lots of it.
Collapsed bearings, turn the truck over.
It can't be fixed on the side of the road. Turbo has to limp to the next town for help.
Get to Longreach, and that way I can get parts tomorrow.
Turbo's new pride and joy has barely made it out of Brisbane.
It's leaking, and if the oil's not kept up to it to keep it cool and lubricated, it could shear the axle off and kill us. Because it'll spit the whole wheel out, dig the front of the truck into the ground and flip it over.
He fears a mystery oil leak is from a failing wheel bearing.
Collapsed bearings, turn the truck over.
If that is the problem, Turbo needs replacement parts.
The closest parts I can get for it is Townsville.
That's 800 kilometres away and in the wrong direction. After half an hour watching it,
I'm trying to work out exactly where it is leaking from.
the mystery leak has dried up.
Because the more I look at it, it's not leaking out of it. So, it could be old excess oil.
Turbo thinks he's safe to push on. He's now heading into the serious side of this run. An 800-kilometre dirt road shortcut through desolate country.
Bag on the dirt.
Taking this track shaves 500 kilometres off Turbo's route.
Where this is going to bring me out is going to be roughly about 70 or 80 clicks north of Alice Springs. So then it's only just a short hop into Alice.
But the shortcut comes with a price tag. Heat, dust, and load-destroying corrugations. Hundreds of kilometres from help.
You cannot get any more remote than this.
And it doesn't take long for the corrugations to take their toll.
There's one part of the load that I'm concerned is the very two back pallets, because they're shifting around. We'll be checking it all out and see what's going on.
He's made it to a remote cattle station.
All right, something's going on.
Checking his load, his worst fears are quickly confirmed. Dozens of bags have broken loose.
Nothing I can do. It's just, I'm gonna have to try to bloody pull it all off pallets and stack it.
Turbo is staring down the barrel of some hard graft. And the bad news just gets worse.
I think I know exactly what it is now. The actual hub itself, the shit itself, is cracked.
His luck with the wheel bearing has run out. It's completely destroyed. Push on, and he's inviting disaster.
Well, what's going to happen is the bearings aren't going to be lubricated. They're going to overheat and then explode.
His only option, a favour from the station owner and some clever bush repairs.
I'm going to have to do a rebuild here in the morning. I'm going to have to see if I can use his workshop. And I'll have to deal with it when I get to Darwin.
Turbo's shortcut through the Outback is quickly turning into a fast road to ruin.
Well, there was no friggin' oil left. There's a friggin' crack right there. And there. Oh, yeah, that's totally f***ed, isn't it?
Plastic, steel, fixes everything.
Let it sit and dry. It takes an hour or so to set rock hard.
To work, the repair will need to be perfectly watertight.
Put the seal on either side of the actual hub seal.
Now to replace the lost oil.
It's a bush repair, but do what I can do to get myself going again. And that's it, it's done. Time to get the hell out of here.
Back on the road, and Turbo's hub is soon just a minor worry. A major worry has taken its place.
There is some bull dust holes along here.
Potholes filled with fine dust are hidden along the road. They're deep.
Probably 12 inches thick of bull dust.
And they're dangerous.
Oh, just bogging right down now.
Hit a big one, and Turbo could roll his truck.
Jesus. That side of the trailer would have come up off the ground.
Turbo's worried that his load has shifted. But he wasn't expecting this mess.
You've got to be f***ing kidding. For f***'s sake. Basically, I've got to unload them off the truck, put them on the ground, and restack them all up again.
It's the hottest part of the day, at the hottest time of the year. And Turbo's 120 kilometres from hell.
Heap of shit. It's not f***ing fun. Friggin' 50 or 60 degree heat out there right now.
Each bag weighs 20 kilos.
There's probably 100 bags of pellet.
Turbo needs a new location for the 2 pallets of fertiliser.
The only way I'm going to be able to have any control over them is to put them between those pallets and the blade on the bulldozer.
He's still got a ton of work ahead of him.
I run a chance of dehydration, heat stroke and sunstroke. At this point, it can become fatal to life.
After 3 hours of back-breaking work, the restack is finished, and so is Turbo.
Say 2.5, 3 tonne, I'm physically shifting. Probably 60 or 70 degree heat outside in the sun, and it physically and mentally drains you.
But with 350 kilometres of rough dirt track ahead,
Because I am on one of the hardest roads in the country, it's 10 times harder.
this road and Turbo's workload are far from over. Turbo's made it to his first drop-off in Alice Springs.
I've got a couple of overexcited customers. They're glad I'm here.
Finally, he can offload the fertiliser, which has given him so much grief.
I've already told the customer that the pallet's collapsed on me. When you want to drive 800 kilometres in dirt, it's just one of the things that happens. Those ones there, straight in front of the blade of yours. Yeah, as you see how much it collapsed.
All right.
A few bags down, but the school's gardeners are happy to get their delivery. And Turbo's happy to see it gone.
Too easy. All right, guys.
Happy trails.
Yeah.
Next cab off the rank, the bulldozer. But this is no ordinary offload.
To get into the next drop-off point, I've had to go through and get security clearance, a level 1 security clearance.
Turbo's next customer is a strategic defence facility.
All I know is it is a top secret sort of place.
And for reasons of national security, only Turbo can continue beyond this point. Operation complete, and Turbo hits the long road north.
We're on our way out of Alice Springs now to Darwin, just a little jog up the road, 1,500 k's up the road.
That's a long way to go with a patched up wheel hub. Turbo wants to check his repair job is holding up. There's no leaking oil, but there's something else leaking.
Looks like I've split the bottom of the f***ing radiator. See if I can slow it down a bit. Get in Darwin, it's got to be fixed. Probably replaced.
Drive even a few hundred metres and he could kill his truck. To fix this one, Turbo's on foot,
Nothing like walkabout.
with an unusual bush repair in mind. First on the shopping list, radiator stop leak.
And some chemical.
Second, farm fresh eggs.
Now I'll go and play and put this in and put my eggs in my radiator.
Eggs in the radiator, eh?
Hey.
Got some bacon there if you want it.
Now I'm going to put a couple of eggs in to the radiator.
It might look like Turbo's cracked it, but this strange brew is a known emergency repair. If his recipe works, the eggs should cook inside the radiator, then get sucked into the leak, plugging it.
It's a bush repair to get me going. All I can do is just keep an eye on it.
An hour later, his water pressure and temperature gauges are holding steady at safe levels. After 300 kilometres of driving on eggshells, Turbo's had enough.
coming into where I'm going to call home for the night. A place called Three Ways. She's been an eventful day. I'm going to go see me mates, have a feed with them, then I'm going to bed.
Next day, and Turbo's looking to put his bad luck behind him and push on to Darwin. But this nightmare is far from over.
I got 2 screwed up tyres. That isn't what I want to find this morning.
Turbo's new truck is accumulating a depressing list of mechanical faults.
Been a shithouse trip.
Adding to his woes, an old wound has opened back up. All he can do is try more stop leak. If he can get the radiator cap off. Turbo has narrowly dodged third-degree burns.
Took the cap off, erupted Mount Everest, and then the leak in the radiator stopped.
With 900 kilometres still left in his marathon journey, he needs his radiator to hold together for one more day. But that's just the start of Turbo's stress.
I'm going to blow a tyre out today, and of course my jack's screwed up. I got to replace it. Replace the jack.
Until Turbo makes it to Darwin for some serious repairs, he can't relax.
It's a new day, new dramas today. Deal with them as they come.
More bad news.
The tyre's gone already, has it?
Oh, it's gone, right?
Turbo's problem tyre has blown out.
Didn't feel it, didn't even hear it. All I can do is pull up and just check it. Deal with it in Darwin. Hasn't actually disintegrated. So there's not much I can do with it.
With his truck on life support, Turbo can't afford any more mechanical mishaps.
It's a shit of a run. Looking forward to getting into Darwin.
His customers are expecting their freight this afternoon, but daylight's fading, and Turbo's still 100 kilometres away.
I'm stressing over just having so many delays.
At last, Darwin. He's at the yard.
I can't see any movement whatsoever.
But it's too late.
Come back here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. All right, mate, are you right to do this unload now? Yeah.
Turbo may be 12 hours late, but finally he can put one of his worst runs behind him.
I get hurdles put in front of me and I'll jump them. It's not for the faint-hearted. It takes a certain breed to come out and do this job.
How was the trip all up?
Honestly or lyingly?
Say it as it is.
It was f***ing shit. But we're here.